My name is Tom and I'm here with Andrew Christie, who is an artist and a carpenter that creates a variety of furniture and sculptures. When did your interest in carpentry begin?
Probably when I was a kid. I've only been working with wood for maybe 4 or 5 years, but my dad's a pattern maker and carpenter originally, so he always had a big shed and I always tooled around in it.
You've made some amazing creative spaces with furniture, but one in particular was the boat, I think last year. What did you learn from that project and what inspired you to do it?
It probably grew out of the Hampton Road project that I did, which was, it's a 190 bed lodging house over in Freo, for mostly sort of at-risk members of our community and sort of people just get back on their feet and all that sort of stuff. And that's where the boat kind of grew out of it. So Brendan Hutchins from Van Media, he came across the boat and it just grew out of that project where most things, I don't start off with an overly clear idea. I tend to have a hunch or an inkling or an interest or a design starting point or something like that, and then I'll end up knowing what I did at the end of the project or what I should have done at the end of the project and sort of what you take over to the next one. I'm not a linear worker like that. That exploration and that revealing of what happens is really good.
You've got a great creative space here. Do you think being in it and being with all these surroundings, do you think it helps your projects?
Oh, massively. Part of working I've been woodworking for about maybe 4 or 5 years, I guess, and before that I was a painter and did film work and all these sort of other things. But I was working in isolation by myself, and then Abdul Rahman, who's a really dear friend of mine, he's a sculptor. We started off up in Bassendean. We got a space that we shared together, and so he's just gone on to greater and bigger things. And with that, you sort of go, oh, it's coming to work, it's having a destination, it's having support, it's having community, it's having tools. Sometimes you just need 100 clamps and just being able to do a lap around. Sometimes you need help to lift and carry something, but sometimes you need someone that can just go, oh, this is how a BAS statement works. This is how a computer program works. This is the way I've approached things. And having this kind of space where you can build a culture, we did it out of many really well, that production floor. Some of the dearest experiences of my life occurred there, and some really hard experiences as well. But we learned to communicate, and we learned to cohabitate, and we learned to applaud each other more than anything else.
One project I really liked was the 5 instruments that you made to play when people pass. What inspired you to create this? What was the background?
That was really important. It kind of locked into me that I was going to be an artist when I was 15, when my older sister passed away. And all of a sudden music meant a lot and painting meant a lot, and it was where I went to process and cope and to grow up, to go through becoming an adult through that period. This life event occurred to me and my family, and we didn't have any real tools. We're not a religious family. My dog had never died. I'd never had a passing. My dad was from Sydney, my mum was from England. We ended up in Perth. It was just our small family, and I don't think I'd really known anyone that had died. I sort of started playing around with this idea of going, I'd like to make sort of objects for almost that family. So I started going, okay, dead people are pretty sacred. So I started off just thinking about almost a family level, where if the family cat died or family dog died, what if I made a kit where there'd be an instrument, a box, some seeds, a shovel, just a bunch of things that you could use every day, but when the cat died, you could take the kids into the backyard, dig a hole, make up your own song, actually build your own little ritual as a family unit, so that when mum and dad or granddad died, you knew kind of what to do, or you had your own system of coping with it, but also to be able to play to other people, to become, to share a grieving in a non-verbal way, but also in a very personal way. And just that idea of going, I've got this instrument on a wall so that when bad things happen, that's what I do. When I get the phone call and I don't know what to do, that's what I do. I just pick this up and I play it for half an hour because I've built myself a little thing around it, which helps me get through to the next day or to go through it. Really, those instruments are really important. Like, it's a long time since I did something that really mattered, and I felt like doing that really just opened me up again. Like, it nailed me afterwards. Like, I was shattered for 6 months, really, like just kind of empty, which kind of means you're on the right path sometimes. But